Deep within the dense jungles of India, where danger and beauty exist side by side, a dramatic story of courage unfolded one humid afternoon. A young tiger, bursting with energy and confidence, roamed freely near the riverbanks. Known among rangers as a restless and playful creature, it loved to chase anything that moved, birds, butterflies, even its own tail. But that day, its curiosity led it into a deadly trap. The tiger had wandered close to a swamp where a giant python, an ancient and patient hunter, lay hidden beneath the muddy water. The massive reptile had been waiting for days for an unsuspecting victim, and the tiger's reckless movements caught its attention. With lightning speed, the python lunged from the shadows, wrapping its powerful coils around the tiger's body. The tiger's playful growls quickly turned into terrified roars that echoed through the jungle. Its claws slashed wildly, tearing into the serpent's scaly armor, but the python's grip only tightened. The enormous snake coiled around the tiger's chest, squeezing with crushing force. The tiger's breath grew shallow as its body twisted helplessly in the mud. The air filled with the sound of struggle, the snapping of branches, splashing water, and the haunting growls of a creature fighting for its life. The battle between the two beasts was brutal, primal, and terrifying to witness. It was a fight for survival that could have gone either way, but the python's deadly constriction was slowly overpowering the tiger's strength. Not far from the scene, a team of forest rangers was conducting a routine patrol. When they heard the tiger's distressed roars, they knew immediately that something was wrong. The sound carried a tone of desperation, one they had learned to recognize over years of experience. The team raced toward the noise, pushing through the thick undergrowth and muddy ground until they reached the swamp. What they saw stopped them cold. The massive python had completely wrapped around the tiger, its body glistening in the sunlight as it tightened its hold. The tiger's head thrashed weakly, its eyes filled with fear. Every second counted, and the rangers had to make a decision fast if they wanted to save it. Their leader, a fearless woman named Arya, quickly formulated a plan. She knew they couldn't use tranquilizers immediately, the risk of hitting the tiger instead of the python was too high. The team had to create a distraction. One ranger began throwing stones near the snake's head to divert its focus, while another prepared a long metal pole used for handling large reptiles. Arya carefully loaded a tranquilizer dart, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The python hissed, raising its head slightly to defend itself, and that was her chance. She fired the dart straight into the thick muscle near its neck. The snake writhed violently, splashing mud everywhere, but within moments, the sedative began to take effect. The team worked fast. Using the pole and their combined strength, they began to pry open the python's coils. The tiger, sensing its chance for escape, tried to push free with its remaining energy. The struggle lasted several tense minutes until, finally, the tiger slipped out of the snake's grip and collapsed onto the wet ground. The rescuers pulled it to safety as the python's movements slowed and eventually stopped completely. Both animals were alive, but exhausted. The rangers immediately checked the tiger's condition. It had several bruises and bite marks, but thankfully, no broken bones. They knew how rare such an outcome was. Once a python begins to constrict, very few creatures ever escape. The rangers loaded the tiger onto a transport vehicle and took it to a nearby wildlife care center. Veterinarians treated its wounds and monitored its breathing through the night. The young predator recovered steadily, its strength returning day by day. Meanwhile, the python was relocated deep into a protected area of the forest, far from human settlements and tiger territory. It was not punished or harmed, because in nature, both predator and prey play their roles in maintaining balance. When footage of the rescue was shared online, people around the world were amazed by the bravery of the rescue team. The video showed the heart-stopping moments when humans faced one of nature's deadliest predators to save another. Viewers praised the courage and quick thinking of Arya and her team, calling them heroes of the jungle. The young tiger became a symbol of survival, and the story a reminder of how precious and fragile life in the wild truly is. Even the fiercest hunters can fall victim to nature's unpredictability, and sometimes, it takes human courage to restore the balance. The jungle returned to silence after the chaos, but the legend of the brave heroes who saved the tiger from the giant python would echo through the trees for years to come.